Princess Cora and the Crocodile, another William Allen White book. Chapter 1. When Princess Cora was born, her mother and father thought she was as perfect as a snowflake. "Look at those big blue eyes," shouted the king. "Look at her toes," cried the queen, and she kissed the baby's feet. "They're like little pink pearls." "Someday our little girl will be queen," said the king. All at once the queen looked worried, and so did the king, because blue eyes and pink toes would not help Princess Cora rule the land. "We must teach her," said the queen. "We will train her," said the king. So that very day the king and queen began to train Princess Cora. They stopped thinking she was perfect and started worrying about what might be wrong with her. By the time she was 7 years old, there wasn't a single minute when Princess Cora wasn't being trained. The king and queen hired a nanny to make sure Princess Cora was always tidy. The nanny thought that being clean was the most important thing in the world. She made Princess Cora take 3 baths a day and watched like a hawk to make sure she washed herself all over. "Into the tub you go," the nanny would say, "and scrub-a-dub-dub till I say stop." Sometimes Princess Cora got tired of taking baths, but the nanny always shook her finger and said, "Do you want to be a dirty little girl? Do you want to smell bad?" Then Princess Cora would turn red and take another bath. When she wasn't taking baths, Princess Cora studied hard. Every day she went to the tower room and read books about how to run the kingdom. "A princess must be wise," said the queen. The books were so dull that Princess Cora yawned until her eyes were full of tears. Sometimes she asked silly questions just to liven things up. Then the queen frowned an awful frown and said, "Now, Cora, that is inappropriate." So Princess Cora hung her head and went back to work. After she studied, Princess Cora went down to the old castle prison, which the king had turned into a gym. Every day the king stood with his gold watch in his hand while Princess Cora ran in circles and skipped rope up to 500. "Faster, faster! A future queen must be strong," said the king. "Skipping rope is good for you." Princess Cora knew that skipping rope was good for her, but that didn't make her like it any better. Sometimes she tried to say so, but when she did, the king squatted down in front of her and made a face very sad. And he would say, "Princess Cora, are you being a good girl?" Princess Cora knew it would be of no use to say yes, and she didn't want to say no, so she burst into tears. Princess Cora wanted her parents to be happy. She worked hard at being clean and strong and wise, but deep inside, she was angry. Sometimes at night, when she was alone in bed, she whispered, "Skipping rope is stupid, and I'm sick, sick, sick of those boring books. When I grow up, I'm never going to take any baths. I'm going to be dirty." These thoughts scared her, but she couldn't stop thinking them. One night, a new idea crept into her head. It was different from the others because it was a happy thought. She whispered, "What if I had a dog?" She smiled into the darkness. She thought of a great furry golden dog that would wag its tail and jump on her, a dog that wouldn't tell her what to do. "That's what I want," thought Princess Cora, "a dog." But when she told the nanny cried, "A dog? A dirty dog? A dog would make messes on the carpet. Good heavens, we don't want that." And the queen said, "Dogs are for little girls who have time to take care of them. I'm afraid you're too busy, dear." And when Princess Cora asked the king if she could have a dog, he stared at his gold watch and shouted, "Faster, faster," because she was trying to walk, talk, and run circles at the same time. That night, Princess Cora could not sleep. At last she got out of bed and wrote a letter to her fairy godmother. "Dear godmother, nobody listens to me. My mother and father won't let me have a pet, and Nanny says I don't even want one. But I do, and I am sick and tired of everything. Please help me. Love, Princess Cora." Then she tore the letter into scraps and dropped them out the window. Because it was a letter to her fairy godmother, every scrap turned into a white butterfly and flew away. Chapter 2. When Princess Cora awoke the next morning, she found a box at the foot of her bed. There were holes punched in the top so that something inside could breathe. Princess Cora lifted the lid. Inside was a scaly green animal with a pink bow around its neck. Goodness, Princess Cora said. An alligator? The animal smiled. He had teeth hanging down from his top jaw and more teeth poking up from his bottom jaw. Guess again, he said. Are you a crocodile? Princess Cora asked. I'm your crocodile, said the animal, and your new pet. I've come to rescue you from your awful parents and your mean nanny. My parents aren't awful, and Nanny isn't too bad, said Princess Cora, and I wanted... She stopped. She had meant to say she wanted a dog, but she didn't want to hurt the crocodile's feelings. Besides, how could you rescue me? I bite, said the crocodile, and he opened his mouth to show all of his teeth. He had so many that Princess Cora jumped and let out a little scream. Don't be frightened, said the crocodile. I won't bite you. I'm your crocodile. I'll only bite the people you don't like. And I won't eat them unless you insist. I seldom eat people. I just like to chew on them. What I really like to eat is cream puffs. Princess Cora considered this. I can give you cream puffs, she said. That's one good thing about being a princess. We always have cream puffs. Do you like chocolate or vanilla? Both, said the crocodile greedily, and he started for the door. Then he stopped. Wait! I haven't saved you yet. Your fairy godmother told me to save you. No one can save me, Princess Cora said. Unless you can turn yourself into a dog. I can't do that, said the crocodile, but I can knock people down. I swat them with my tail, and they fall on their rear ends, bang! And then I chew on them. Princess Cora shook her head. I don't think that's a good idea. If you don't want bites and you don't want rear ends, then what do you want? Asked the crocodile. Princess Cora thought hard. I want a day off. No books, no baths, no skipping ropes. Just a day to do what I want. I know what, exclaimed the crocodile. I'll take your place. I'll wear your clothes and take your baths and learn your lessons and jump over your stupid rope. Then you can run away and have fun. I don't think, began Princess Cora, but the crocodile grabbed one of her dresses and jammed his back legs into the sleeves as if he were putting on a pair of pants. Oh dear, not like that, cried Princess Cora, and she ran to help him. In a very short time, the crocodile was dressed in Princess Cora's dress. When he stood on his hind legs and hid his front claws behind his back, it was astonishing how much he looked like Princess Cora. There was just one problem. Your tail shows, said Princess Cora. I haven't got a tail. That's not my fault, said the crocodile, but he whipped his tail out of sight. And there's a problem with... Princess Cora stopped. She almost said with baldness, but she didn't want to be rude. Little girls have hair, she said at last. Make me a wig, said the crocodile. Princess Cora started to say that she couldn't, but then an idea came to her. She found her nanny's mop and took the stringy part off the stick. She tied the stringy part to the crocodile's head. The yarn in the mop was the same shade of brown as Princess Cora's hair. There, said the crocodile, peering into the mirror. Don't I look sweet? You're perfect, said Princess Cora. Do you think? You know what? I think this might work. At least, it might work with Nanny. She never wears her glasses. And Mama's always reading, and Papa's always looking at his watch. Of course it will work, said the crocodile. Now stay here and be Princess Cora. And I'll stay here and be Princess Cora. You run along and have fun. So there we have the crocodile dressed as Princess Cora. No one had ever told Princess Cora to run along and have fun, and she almost didn't know how. But she dressed herself in the flash of an eye and ran down the castle steps and out the back door. The castle garden was very tidy, with trees shaped like cones, and Princess Cora wanted to untidy trees, the kind she might be able to climb. So she raced past the lily pond and ran into the orchard where the fruit trees grow. And we're going to stop there, my friends.